Okay, so where were we? The other thing that I found wrong about the new season of Orange is the New Black, season 5, is the Daya flashbacks. Oh yeah, actually this wasn't wrong, this was quite confusing. I'm sure I'm not the only one that realized that. I thought at first the girl in the flashback was Daya, and then after watching quite a while, by the way, by the time I watched Orange is the New Black I was a bit high, so I wasn't seeing shit clearly, but after looking closely I realized it wasn't Daya. Then I did some research and found out that it was the daughter that played Daya. I thought that was quite smart, because I actually thought that was Daya in that scene. And man, they look alike. She really looks like her daughter. She's lucky. The other thing that was wrong is the Lorna, you know, Lorna La Loca, crazy woman. Lorna and Nichols have had that thing going on where they both have a thing for each other. Well, Nichols has a thing for Lorna, pretends not to. She pretends to be the straight woman. But now it's season 5. I mean, if anything's building between them, why don't they just put it out there? It's been season 5, so it's been a long time, you know. They should just get them together. I think they would make a nice couple. But I don't know, with the pregnancy coming in and stuff like that, she'll probably get pregnant, have a baby, and then maybe end up with Nichols. But I think it's been dragging for so long. They should just get them together. Let's have a lesbo scene and moving on, curtains down, the end. So, you know, because that's been dragging for ages. They're not going anywhere. They get together, they have this and that. Also in episode 8, one of the guards finds out that these guys don't actually have a gun, and what they do, they just stand back and let these inmates tell them what to do. I feel like that was so unreal. Like, the guards are so soft in Orange is the New Black, to the point that I know they're trying to make it funny, but it wouldn't hurt if you put some serious beats. Like, obviously these guards will probably knock those women out easily. Like, they could have just escaped or something, have them escape or something. We barely have any of them escape. They get them to do that stupid talent show, no one tries to escape. They get them to do all this stuff and they really don't try to make them escape or anything, and it just at some point gets boring, because it feels like, what kind of guards are these? I mean, they should be doing something, you know what I mean? So they should have made them do a bit of escaping or fighting one of the inmates. Maybe make it a funny scene, but still like have that in there. The other thing that I did not understand is in the flashback, Daya's flashback, when she was a teenager, she goes to the club and she gets off with well, Claire, her friend's boyfriend or whatever. But what did not make sense is when she's whining on him, and wasn't that quite obvious? Like, I mean, the boyfriend kicks off with Daya, the young Daya, that why did he kiss her if she knows that he's into Claire? But I mean, he let young Daya whine on him and he didn't say anything. So obviously, I don't know, but if I go out and there's some girl I like and there's a friend, I'm not going to let that girl whine on me if I like her friend. So it was like, did not make sense. It's either the guy was a player or that scene was just confusing. Okay, he should have just not allowed her to whine on him in the first place. That would have made more sense than him reacting over the case, knowing that he's the one that let Daya whine on him. It was like he was hinting her that he likes her instead of Claire, but then we find out after the case that he's mad that Daya kissed him when she knows that he's into Claire. That scene did not make sense. The other thing also that was so unreal is in episode 9 when, you know, Piscatella comes into the prison and starts kidnapping all the girls. Kidnapping in prison. Yeah, he was kidnapping all of them and then putting them in this room. How the fuck did he kidnap all of them? If this prison is full of 400 women and it's obviously it's not a big prison, it's just hallways, how the fuck did no one see him? Like, seriously, with a prison full of rioting women that are everywhere, how on earth did no one see him drag a body? That scene was also, they made it look like a horror, like something you would see in a horror film. I think that was obviously to make it funny, but the scene was so unreal. And it wasn't funny at the same time. I would say maybe it was unreal because it was meant to be funny, but it wasn't funny. It was just unreal, like the way he could kidnap all those people. Plus, Piscatella is about 6 foot. God knows, that guy is probably 7 foot or something. How come no one saw him dragging this woman across the hall? I mean, wouldn't someone see a 7 feet tall guy dragging women across the corridors and stuff? But apparently no one saw him and he dragged all of them without no one seeing it. That was just unreal. Someone could have seen him. They could have showed us that someone at least saw him, okay? Also, in Red flashbacks, they were kind of confusing. You know, you have Red and her friend, I mean the young Red in the flashbacks in Russia. But what was confusing is that I thought the other friend was Red all along, because the other friend actually looked more like Red, or was that just me? Because the other friend was a bit, you know, big, like Red. I thought it would have made more sense if the big Red, if the a bit chubby Red, a bit chubby girl was the one that was Red, and this one, the skinny one, was her friend. Also, in episode 10, Figueroa, you know, Capote's girl with the long face, she's still in prison, you know, negotiating with these people. And not at one point do we see the police or anything coming in or checking or anything. Like, they always just let her come in, like it's the safest place on earth. Like, these prisoners are supposed not to stab this woman or anything, and it just doesn't make sense. Like, she's in there, she's talking to prisoners, and at no point do they have security check up on her or anything like that. Or obviously all that was unrealistic. Also, when Piscatella is has those women hostage, you know, Alex, Chapman, and all of them. When I think it was Alex that got has duct tape off, and instead of just putting a new duct tape, he just stands there doing nothing. Obviously that made sense so the other woman could hear them and then come over and see them. I thought he could have just put more duct tape on her mouth. It was that easy. Or maybe heat her a few more times so she can shut up. But he did nothing. It was obviously clear that the writers wanted that woman to keep screaming, wanted Alex to keep screaming so the other women could hear her. So he was just there like doing nothing, because it just did not seem like it was what Piscatella would do. I feel like Piscatella would just stand there, slap her or something so that she can keep quiet. That would have fit more Piscatella's role than just him standing there telling her to stop talking, blah blah. No, he wouldn't do that. He would have hit her and stuff. So that did not make sense as well. The other wrong thing is when Linda gets called by Bo that she's actually with the MCC, and Bo tells her that I will keep your secret if you give me $5,000. Then she tells her a PayPal, and I'm thinking, what? How could she remember her PayPal like that, just easily? Now, I don't know about you, but if I've been in prison for quite a while, I'm not going to remember my PayPal. The way she just says it out there like she knows her PayPal, it's just wrong. It's not realistic at all. Also, when Maria brings the guards out of hostage and she brings them to the people outside, she saves them and she takes them outside in episode 11. We see her talking to one of the people from the MCC, and Capote is there inside this like a van or something, and yeah, outside, and they are talking, and no one's protecting her from anyone. Inside, these prisoners get all this freedom to just do whatever they want, and then when they come out of prison, no one's even there to watch them and keep them down. Like, no one even bothers to pin her on the floor and tell her put your hands down or whatever. We don't see anything like that. She's just there in the van talking to normal people as if she's not a prisoner and she's not dangerous at all. Obviously that was wrong, because in reality they would get her, pin her on the floor, and then she would negotiate whatever time she has to say while she's on the floor, not stood up in a van. Also in episode 13, when they find out that the guards have moved in, you know, to take over the prison again, how on earth does, you know, people have time to do all the Home Alone skills? Like, they do all the tricks, you know, to avoid prison, and they do all these Home Alone tricks. How on earth did they have that time? And those people are supposed to come in rapid, get rid of everyone. Plus, we all know that Litchfield is a small prison. If it's a small prison, it doesn't take long to get around. But these guys make all these tricks and whatever, and no one has actually caught him. And by the time they finished, and it was funny, but it wasn't real, and that made it wrong. You know, there's no way those people, you mean the other prisoners, would have had time to build all those traps without anyone finding him. It just did not make. It's just so wrong and unrealistic. I think that's what made it funny. I think, you know, to be fair, it's a funny series, so they really don't try to make everything real, but some parts at least try to make them real, at least. The other thing that pissed me off, mainly, that I was also wrong, is how Piscatella died. It's not fair. I wanted Piscatella to be in that series even more. I wanted him to suffer at the hands of Red and all the other women he tortured. Am I the only one that thinks like that? His death in episode 13 was not fair. He should have suffered a lot more than that. Should have smacked him, beat him up, whatever. You know, he deserved more than just being shot with a plastic bullet or whatever. they shot him with, he should have suffered just a bit more than that. And they always do that, even with V. Remember V? I think it was season 3, the black woman that came in and she was quite evil. So remember how V died? She got run over and that was it. We never saw her again. They always find a way to kill characters off easily like that. We want a build up. We want to see her suffer. We wanted to see V suffer. I wanted to see Piscatella suffer at the hands of Red and all the other women he tortured. But in general, it was alright. It was funny. It was funny. And most things that were wrong in there are the ones that obviously they couldn't make funny and they did not come by as realistic, to be fair. But in general, it was a decent series. And yeah, I can't wait for season 6. I hope season 6 has got a lot more storylines for more characters and stuff like that, instead of having all the funny stuff. Obviously, we know now that they went off to the prison and now they're probably gonna get transferred to other prisons. And we saw Blanca, you know, the Spanish fake girls, we saw them being separated and taken to different buses, so that could probably build up. There wasn't really a big cliffhanger in this season that you can say, oh my god, I can't wait to watch the future one. Like, you know, season 4's cliffhanger was the best. You know, you had Daya with a gun, Pussy had just died, so you wanted to find out all that. I mean, that was beautiful. Season 4 cliffhanger was the best, but the ending of season 5, not too much. I don't think a lot of people are looking forward to see where they're going or whatever. I personally like Litchfield and I would prefer it if they all kept them together. I would hate it season 6 to be one of them ones where they show you each character in different places. I want all of them together in one prison. Like, I hated it, I think it was season 2 or 1, when Alex and Chapman were put in this different prison and we would see them there and then would come back to Litchfield. I just hated it. I like it. What I like about Orange is the New Black is it being in one place, sort of like Lost. Lost is on the island, they only show you when they're off the island, they just show you flashbacks, so that's good. But yeah, I just have to wait one more year for season 6. Hopefully it's good, hopefully it's not. I mean, hopefully it's good. But yeah, that was it from me today, and I can't wait to watch season 6. Peace.